Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be making checkpoints, or better known as respawn points in Unity. So I'm going to be working off the same 2D player controller scene I did, top-down one, and yeah, let's just get started. So pretty much what we're going to be using is we're going to be using if you can imagine, in all games, there's some point that you respawn. Minecraft, I'm guessing, I haven't really played Soul Knight, but it looks like a platformer, so I'm guessing there's respawn points in that. You know, Terraria, or any game, there's respawn points. Doom, Minecraft, Call of Duty, even, they're all respawn points. Yes, they may be set, but there are respawn points. Okay, so first of all, to make one, let's just quickly go and make a quick graphic for one. So I'm just gonna go UI, and not UI, sorry, make a 2D object, go sprites, and I'm just gonna make a circle for mine. This should do us as one. Now we kind of want it to go behind the player. Yeah, that's good. Or in front, anyone matters. But one thing we're gonna want to do straight away is give it a circle collider 2D and turn on his triggers, because this is what we're gonna be using. We're also gonna make a tag called respawn point, and we're just gonna save that. And then go under circle, add respawn point, and just call this respawn point. Here we go. Next, we're gonna just quickly make a folder called prefabs. And we're just going to drag our respawn point in the prefabs folder, just so we can drag it onto the scene from our vector at any point. And yeah, so this should be good. We're just going to drag another one over to this part, all the way over here. And let's get started. So if we go under the respawn point prefab, we can change the color or anything like that. I'm just going to make it a nice sort of orangey red, so you kind of know exactly what it is. Save it, then go down here, make, and we're just going to go checkpoint. Actually, no, we won't be doing it on the actual checkpoint itself. We'll be doing it on the player. So go onto the player and make something called checkpoint handler. A new script, create an ad, and Unity will do its thing, and it'll create one, and it'll be here. So let's chuck that into scripts, and then just double click it to open up in Visual Studio. This is probably going to be a very quick tutorial, other than the other ones. So let's just remove the start and update, and let's make a few variables. So let's make a public transform list, and we'll just call them checkpoints, points, whatever you want to call it. And this is essentially going to be... Oh wait, we probably don't even need that. No, we don't. This should actually be really simple. So we're just going to make a public transform, and we're just going to call it respawn point. You could also set this to a vector 3 and just convert it later. That's completely up to you. Next, we're just going to go we're actually going to be using on trigger. Now this should be probably the simplest thing, and it will be literally nothing at all. On trigger enter, and as you can see, it enters a other collider, and we can go if other dot compare tag with, and if we go back to the inspector, we can realize that we actually did give these a we gave it respawn point as the tag. So let's chuck that in. Respawn point. And let's go like this. If other.compare tag respawn point, and like this, and we're just going to debug it for now. Set spawn, so we know it's working. And then we're also going to go respawn point is equal to other.gameObject.transform. Transform, of course. Cool. So if we go back to Unity, this should be fine. And let's go under our player and make sure it's on there. And yep, it's there. So we're going to set the base respawn point like this. Now, what we're also going to do is under start, we're going to set our transform.position is equal to respawn point dot transform. I think we can just go dot position. Makes it a bit easier. Go back to the Unity. And we set our respawn point as respawn point just number 0, just to make it really simple. We can drag that in. It's already in there. So now if we start the game, we should be teleported over to our first one. Yep. And this should be pretty good. Now if we go over to here, it should change. And our bottom right over here, our respawn point. And this is pretty much it. Other than that, all we have to add, like I said, really quick tutorial. All we have to add is a public void called die, or actually, better name for this will just be respawn. And under respawn, we can literally just go transform dot position is equal to respawn point dot position. It's that simple. And I'm just gonna comment here, add death effects and debuffs here. Cool. That is it. The other only thing that I can think of doing is just going into update and make something that restarts the level for us, so we can just click R, or respawns us. So if we could just go if input dot capital I dot get key down key code dot R, then we just go respawn. And that should be it. That should be all the code that you need for today. 30 solid lines. Oops, I didn't do it right. Print. Gotta add the extra I. Positron. Add the I and you got positron. Okay, so let's go into the game and let's see what happens. So we spawn here, obviously, and if we click R, it'll just set us back here. Whereas if we go over here to our other one, and then go over here, it respawns us there. It literally couldn't be any easier. The only thing that I can think of doing is adding a animation, maybe like a pop or something. But honestly, yeah, it's that simple. I'm gonna quickly add a pop just so it's a little bit better, and also you probably want to smooth out the camera animation a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna make this and I'll show you guys. And there we go, we got a really basic animation going. That should be completely fine. Under here, we'll just make a public animator. And then we can set this through script, but why the hell not? Well, actually, why the hell do it? It's just a waste of time at this point because of how simple this is. And let's just double click over this in animator. Let's make a trigger called respawn. And what we do, we should probably make another idle one. Just make it idle. Idle. Drag idle in. Make that layer default. And, oops, there was already an idle. Yeah, make that layer default. Make transition to pop. And pop back to there. And let's just set the has exit time to none. And has exit time on this one, just so it works. And on here, we're just going to make a trigger called respawn. And in respawn, we can just go anim.set trigger respawn. If that's what I named it. It was. Okay. And, yeah, what we can do for the animator, because we're swapping between animator all the time, what we're going to do is just go in the, on trigger enter, we can just go anim is equal to respawn point dot get component, and we'll go animator. There we go. Cool. If we go back to Unity, this should work completely fine because it's really basic code. And let's go down to here. As you can see, anim is all good. And let's go into the game. Whenever we click R, it's going to do this, and it's going to put us back and do a little bit of animation. Cool. So, there was no animator attached to that. Do you know why? Because I didn't override it. That was kind of bad demoing. Anyway, this is a really simple way to make checkpoints and respawn points in games. I'd highly suggest you use this. It's so basic to do something like this. And as you can see in this sort of clip I'm playing right now, it is super easy just to make a bunch of them, and it works all the time. You don't even need to think about it. Oh, I was clicking space, I'm an idiot. It does work. Here we go. Yeah, so as you can see, it works with all these. It works completely fine. And yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, click the subscribe button, subscribe button, and recommend it to your friends if they're into coding as well. Anyway, see ya.